Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our JCI RISE Virtual Summit 2023, session number 2. My name is Manuela Weber. I'm the 2023 chairperson of the SDG committee. And together with my dear committee member responsible for Asia and Pacific, Naomi, we are the hosts for this session. As you can see in the group, we are from Myanmar, we are from Germany, from Hong Kong, from Romania, from Latvia, from Cameroon, from America, from Romania. So we are here from all over the world to present our projects, what we do in JCI. And we're also curious to learn more from where you are attending and listening to our session. So just feel free to write a hello from where you are in the comments on the YouTube video. Yeah, today the RISE Virtual Summit. What does RISE stand for? It's an acronym for Rebuild, Invest, Sustain, Evolve, and is an initiative created JCI in 2020 to focus on the main challenges that arise under the COVID-19 times. And we still see the challenges today, so they are still actual. So pillar 1 is sustaining and rebuilding economies. We just talked about this and great project examples yesterday. The pillar number 2, motivate our workforce. That is for today, workforce motivation. Number 3, to preserve mental health of our members, but also of our environment from the young to the old ones. And with these 3 pillars, we also focused on 7 SDGs. So today, with the focus workforce motivation, we also have the focus on the SDGs number 1, no poverty, the SDG number 4, quality education, and the SDG number 8, decent work and economic growth. And now it's time to get into the project and learn more what we do on a local and national level for further developing on these 3 goals and the pillar workforce motivation. The first speaker, the first project we hear from is Florina Matei-Rutkovska from JCI Latvia. She's a member of JCI Riga International Chapter, born in Romania, but has moved, thanks to life, to Latvia, where she wanted to be involved in the organizations that have impact. And so that's why she joined JCI Latvia and has been involved and managed various projects and also training events. She has been recently awarded with the JCI Senatorship, and she is the mother of amazing 5-year-old daughter and has a wonderful husband. And also in professional life, she's an innovative pharmaceutical company as quality assurance unit manager. And now I would say the floor is yours, Florina. We are really curious to learn more about your project in JCI Latvia.
Thank you, Manuela. Thank you for the introduction and for shortly presenting us about the RISE project and what JCI is intending to do in international and national levels. I will say greetings from Latvia. It's a beautiful day, which is not so common for Latvia. So thank you and hello to everyone from here. The project I want to speak about, it's called dara Labu, which in English would be translated good does good. And it's a project which had an aim to provide work integration and motivation to provide learning opportunities to 11 young boys with age between 15 and 21 years old, which lived in one city of Latvia in a SOS house. For those of you which are not familiar with the SOS house concept, these houses are places where children which are either orphans, either coming from families which are facing challenging situations, they live there, they study there, and when they reach 18, 20 years old, they leave the premises of this house and manage their life on their own. So what JCI Latvia and JCI Riga International, the chapter from which I am, they wanted to create a project which is shaped on the age and needs of these boys, these young boys, and to give them opportunity what they can do when they will be out of this house, how they can build their life, where they can work. So the project had three main categories or parts, let's say like this. One of the parts were learning opportunities where JCI Latvia members and senators went to their place. It was a one-day event. It happened 3 of these events. And there we went and we interacted with them. I will shortly speak about this. Then there were company visits. These company visits, again, they were in the area of this city where the children are living, because it was really important to show to these young boys something which is close to home, because you don't know how they will have the possibility to go, I don't know, in the other part of the country. So we wanted to show something which is in the region and it's based on their profile. And then there was also a fundraising campaign, because this project happened when COVID started, as Manuela mentioned. So we faced challenges because of COVID. We started the project, we had to put it on pause because COVID and restriction and so on. But so something happened also online. We had this fundraising campaign within JCI Latvia members and senators. So if we would speak about the first part of the project, let's say about the learning opportunities. As I mentioned, JCI Latvia members and senators went to the place in this city where the boys are living, and we had in 3 different days, or during the duration of 1.5 years because of COVID, of course, we went to them and we had interaction. The first event, it's called Get to Know Each Other, because we had to get to know them. So we had various team building. Manuela, thank you. She will share some pictures. Here you can see some from the first learning opportunity, where we learn how to be a team, because it's very important, and try to explain them. Also, when you go in the workplace, there you have to work as a team. Of course, you have to be to work as a single individual and to exceed and to be good in your work, but you will do this as part of a team. So we did various activities together as a team. Considering they are young boys and full of energy, we also did some activities outdoors. As you can see in the middle, there is the boy on the rope, because we tried to explain them that at workplace, sometimes you would feel that you are, hanging on a rope or walking on a rope, but you need to find your balance in the environment where you are, and you need to do your best. So we try to combine, let's say, fun activities for young boys, but also to apply them in the workforce environment. Then the second learning activity happened 1 year later because of COVID, and it was introduction to career path. We went there, we speak about, volunteering opportunities. We were very pleased to find out that some of the boys actually knew about various volunteering opportunities. They actually even want to participate. It was very pleasant, considering that these boys are coming from environments which are quite unfortunate, let's say like this. So it was a very nice surprise. Then we show them how to make CVs. We explain them how CV needs to prepare. And we had interview simulations. And during the interview simulation, the JCI members, they were the employers. They were, if you can go to the first slide, Manuela, again. We were showing them how to go to the interview, how to prepare. They were even playing by themselves. One was the employer, one was the candidate. And before the interview, of course, what a young boy should be well looking. So we show them how to tie to prepare the tile. So even we took into consideration, you know, the physical aspect and how to present themselves good in an interview. So we had even this activity. Of course, afterwards we had some outdoor activity and CrossFit, because yeah, this is one of the other pictures. The third learning opportunity was even more faced to apply to their wishes, because while we spoke with them, they told us all that they are interested in manufacturing companies, and this is why we went. 3 of the companies, all 3 of them are within the manufacturing area. Some of them said that they want to work in the food processing industry. Some of them said that maybe even in some, you know, hospital, you know, like as a nurse. So this is why the third learning activity was focused on health and food industry. So we had life size simulators, defibrillators and everything, and we show them how to give the first aid, what is the differences when you are giving first aid to a grown-up or to a child, how to use a defibrillator, how to understand, and which are all the aspects. And we actually show these medical simulators, and it was very interactive, of course. Then we had a very delicious workshop when we had JCI member, which is working in local Latvian chocolate manufacturing. And we had to prepare our own chocolate. They found out what it means to work in a food industry company, what you have to do, what are the things that you should take care, which are important aspects. And of course, we prepared chocolate, which was very tasty and delicious. If we are speaking about the company visits, there were 3 companies which we visited, all of them in the area where the young boys are living, like 10 kilometers or 20 maximum, or even in the same city where they live. The first company was a pharmaceutical company. It's a company which is producing drug sterile medicine. It's the only country in the entire, only company in the entire region, not company, so it's very exclusive, let's say, company. There the CEO and the founder of the company greeted the young boys and explained them what it means, what type of drugs we are producing in that company, what sterile drugs there means, how it's helping, how it's important to the life. And of course, they visited the premises of the company. And there they saw from a safe of course, environment, how these drugs are produced, what are the laboratories means, what it means, what are the job opportunities as a young boy which wants to work in this type of company. Then we also visited a company which is creating windows, doors, everything on wood. So considering the profile of the young boys, we also thought that this might be a good opportunity, and they were actually very impressed to see that very close to the place where they live, they have this working place. And the third one was company which works with metal. The profiles of metal, this is a bit more technical for me to speak, but the boys, everything was on their language, everything was understood. For me, was a bit not my field of expertise. So the project was really created and designed on the age and on the expertise of these young boys, and trying to show them that within their living area, there are good workplaces which can provide them a future and can provide them a start in the future. So, that's all from my side. Yeah. If there are any questions, I can speak more and more about this. It's no problem. I would also want to say that this project was granted a grant from American Embassy in Latvia. So this is why we would like also to thank them. Of course, we would like to thank to our partners, the Chocolate Tasty Pure from Latvia, and to all the companies which have received us, even though it was the COVID period. Of course, we took the precautions measurement, but it was rather challenging to be allowed to visit companies. So it was amazing that they could receive us. That's all on my side.
Thank you so much, Florina. It's really, I really can feel your excitement about this project. Thank you so much. And really, it is to see how you prepare the young people for their job life, and how much motivation. It's really perfect workforce motivation. So thank you so much. And it's also, I think, a good example for how to involve partners and how to make it big. So that sounds like a project where we can learn a lot from. So I just wanted to mention, dear audience, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to use the comment opportunity and the YouTube video. So just right there. And I'm sure you will get an answer from Florina. Probably, maybe not during this session, but afterwards. And I have two questions. For you, Florina, let's start with the first one. You have been working on the youth. So why do you think that the SDG that you have been working on at the youth are so important? Why did you choose that? Yeah.
Thank you for the question. You see, we are all aware we are living in a world which is changing so fast. Everything which yesterday was new, today it's already old, and the technology is changing so much. And it's very important that we are keeping pace with everything what is happening. So and that people are at the right location, the right company, because when you are motivated and you are working in something which is fits your work of expertise, which it fits your needs and your profile, then you are doing a good job. Then you have an impact in your company, in your community, and everything. So by doing proper work and motivating and finding your proper workplace, it helps not just you and your immediate family, but it's helped the entire community. The company has better results, and then everything goes to, it's like a chain which is, having various elements. So I think it's very important in this fast-moving world to keep track. And projects like this, which are just showing that there are companies in your, really close to you, which you can make a change, and which can have a change on your life, is very important. Even if they are just 11 boys, I think it's a big impact, the butterfly impact.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I think you gathered a lot of experience from this project. You had the partners, you had the youth, you had the companies. When some of the audience members feel inspired to do a similar project, what would you provide as key or main recommendations, key learnings? What makes such a project successful, or what to avoid, or what to take care of to do such a project the best way?
To avoid, definitely, I would say COVID. Yes, that is something to avoid. Hopefully it will not come again, or not in the same degrees, let's say like this. What to keep in mind, I would say to be open. Because when you are doing a project like this, when this project started, we had an idea in our mind what we would want to do, but everything is changing. The profiles of in this case, the young boys were changing, and we had to adapt everything to their needs. Of course, in a project planning, it's 70% of the success. So it's really important to have a plan, and it's really important to have the skeleton, your idea, and where you want to go, what you have to impact, where you are getting the money, with whom you can be the partner. But then you have to be open enough and to listen to the people which you are interacting, to listen to your community, and then to try to understand what you have to do in order to actually have an impact, not just to have what you had in your mind, because if you're not adapting to what you have there, then you are not actually making change.
Thank you very much. Very good points. To be open for the idea development, have a plan, do a need analysis to really work on and find solutions that really matter and help. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
To write comments in the YouTube channel. And it's really an inspiring project. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And contact me or contact JCI Latvia if there are any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for all your efforts and the presentation today. That is really great. And yeah, with this, I mean, it's hard, but we have, I would like to give the floor to my dear co-host, to committee member Naomi, for introducing the next project.
Wow, thank you, Chairperson Manuela. It's so inspiring. And we are so grateful to have so many heroes and inspiring leaders today. So the next inspiring leader is from JCI Myanmar. So she is Miss Dolly, MVP. Miss Dolly is an optimistic and diligent chemical engineer who cultivates a growth mindset and started her JCI journey in 2022 after getting a scholarship from JCI Myanmar in collaboration with ISET Myanmar. So through her enthusiastic passion for chemical engineering and environmental engineering, she yearns and aspires to contribute to an environmentally sustainable and socially responsible world. So we can't wait to hear about her amazing stories about workforce and motivation. So the floor is yours, MVP Dolly.
Thank you very much, Ms. Naomi, and also Ms. Manuela. Apologies for the mispronunciations. So once again, thank you very much for giving us this great opportunity to be presenting in this year of Virtual RISE Summit. And please allow me to share my presentation first. Can you all see my screen? Yes, okay. So warm greetings again and Mingalaba from JCI Myanmar to all the distinguished guests and the dear participants of today's summit. And it is my heartfelt pleasure and joy to have this great opportunity to present our Guiding for RISE project on behalf of our organizing team as well as JCI Myanmar in order to showcase under the RISE second pillar of workforce motivation. So now let us get down to the details of our Guiding for RISE career development and workshop for our young leaders that was held this April at our former capital and current commercial city, Yangon. Although this project was hosted by JCI Yangon, which is the founding chapter of JCI Myanmar, the national team as well as JCI Inya, our next chapter, showed our support and collaboration for this project. As of today's RISE Virtual Summit, I would like to share mainly about our goals, involvements, impacts, and key learnings of our project Guiding for RISE. First of all, we all agreed as the organizing team to initiate this Guiding for RISE after having the main goals to rebuild and encourage, as well as introduce our new members, as well as calling out to our inactive members of this year. Next, to invest as well as provide career mapping, teamwork, leadership as well, and networking opportunities to our future leaders of Myanmar. The third one is mainly to sustain and maintain our national partnerships by getting job opportunities to our youth as well as internships back to the partnerships. And last but not least, to evolve, which is to rebound our members to take charge and rise not only for themselves, but also for our community to have victory once again. So as for the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals point of view, our project is mainly aligned with these goals of quality education, goal number 4, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, goal number 9, and last but not least, partnership for the goals, goal number 17. We intended to mainly focus upon goal number 4 of quality education, as we all know that it is the basic important key that will allow many other sustainable development goals, such as other poverty, hunger, inequality, and many more. Moreover, our members' motivation and involvement are such essential and crucial goals for all of our JCI Myanmar that we have focused on workforce motivation, which is another reason for running the JCI RISE project. This is the level of commitment, energy, and innovation that members hold during the training sessions and bring the whole life of JCI journey along with their mental health and motivations. All participants who were non-members became the members of JCI Myanmar, and now some of them are all taking responsibilities rather than positions for the development of our country as well as JCI Myanmar. Since it is as important as it's difficult to track, maintaining and improving motivation in the workplace can be a problem for many companies, as not every task will be interesting. So which is why we had these lovely motivational facilitators from the PS Business School, our supporting partner for this event, who kindly led, shared, and discussed about such amazing sessions like mapping your future, the power of self-awareness, and navigating the digital landscape, and many other more. As for our practical training sessions to realize our abilities, professionals from our training partner of Sense Training House Myanmar, who happened to be one of our past national presidents, and they kindly contributed to the benefits of our participant of this event. At the end of this project, we believe that our impacts would definitely start from the participation of 30 people, in which the participant list, where 5 became new members, and while 10 of them were able to have retention. So these people were encouraged and motivated to rise, and we are really grateful and delighted for their active participations in this project. In addition to the organization, we were able to do branding and promoting our clear mission, vision, and our 2023 national theme of JCI Myanmar, which is Rebound to Victory. Nevertheless, we would maintain the sustainability of our partners as well as members, and also our JCI Myanmar as an organization, thanks to the successful event of this Guiding for RISE project. So for my last part actually of key learnings from this project is that we believe we have positively impacted our young leaders as they have joined us along in this 2 days event. And these are some of their satisfactions and feedback from both the non-members as well as members, who are kind enough to give us these feedbacks after all the hardships and difficulties of organizing this powerful, efficient, and motivational project. Our biggest key takeaway would be, no matter how hard life throws lemons at you, definitely just please don't forget to transform it into either a delicious lemonade or lemon meringue pie, or even in my case, maybe lemon margarita. So despite all the situations of our country, Myanmar, at least we could positively change starting from these people of the participants, and we'll always keep on moving forward, and we will never give up definitely, so that we could live up to our this year theme, Rebound to Victory of JCI Myanmar. So we pray, hope, and wish for the world to be environmentally sustainable as well as socially responsible. So thank you very much for all the kind attention, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, MVP Dolly, for the amazing sharing. We actually, I think maybe all of you that are hearing the sharing, don't hesitate to leave your comments and also feedbacks in the YouTube chat box. We look forward to your comments. So even though we may not be able to answer immediately, but I'm sure that you all want to give a round of applause to MVP Dolly. So I do have a further in-depth questions to you, MVP Dolly. So maybe we are not so sure about the situation of Myanmar. Would you like to explain a little bit more? You explained 3 SDG goals. So can you explain a little bit more as a young leader like you actually got scholarships from ISEC, right? And you are very diligent
Yes.
and hardworking. So actually for young people like you, why these SDG, these three SDG are so important to you? And how does it kind of change people's life in terms of workforce motivation?
Yes, thank you very much for that question, Ms. Naomi. And I believe for our country's situation, as I believe many of the people know from around the world, we are currently facing, we actually took a lot of drawbacks from COVID situation as well as the political situation currently. And most of our bright and future youth would be going to abroad, and then there could be many other difficulties through the educational fee depending on the political situation. So which is why we mainly focus, and as a young leader upon this country, I believe that we all believe that actually focusing upon the SDG goals, such as I mentioned, mostly our project is implemented upon the fourth goal of quality education, because we believe that it could be the first a main important key point, because if everyone or youth in our country would have be able to get access to the better education, they would have ripple effects to reduce and as well as improve their knowledge. So we can reduce other points of SDG such as the poverty, and then maybe hunger, and then maybe we can break free from all those socially negative ways. So that is why we mainly focus upon that, and that is why we think this could be focused to our country with this project, especially in this time of year.
Thank you so much. I do agree with you that education can make a difference. And I can see from the feedbacks of the participants that you just shared, they have another new perspective of the world. And I think that's how RISE or JCI also serve as a very good opportunity or platform for for young leaders nowadays to see the world differently and see how they can perform, play an active role in their local community. And this is really amazing. So I also have another questions to you. It's actually quite rare. Actually, as an APDC chairman, we had a lot of trainings with JCI Myanmar as well, to be frank. So usually we gather the takeaways from other very good organizations, national organizations to Myanmar. So if we turn from this amazing project, what kind of takeaways or suggestions you would like to share to all the audience today, like from different parts of the world? So this is a golden opportunity for you to hey, we have some suggestions to you as to how we can, in an ever-changing scenario or a very challenging scenario, how we can actually inspire the youth or inspire others. What will be your takeaways?
Yes, thank you very much for this really wonderful question as well, Ms. Naomi. So I believe that the real key point or the real takeaway from our projects and currently, like you mentioned, the situations, I believe that could be the positivity as well as having the growth mindset, which I really try to include in my values as well as a youth who is learning and who is trying to improve as much as I can. So because like I mentioned, due to our country's situation, it is quite hard for not only the youth, actually also for the every other sector like economy, everything. We went downhill starting from all those situations, and in that situation we tried our best in order to stay positive and try to make change, at least like starting from one person, one community, one society, back to the whole country. So I would like to suggest, just don't give up at all, and then just keep trying so that we could have the growth mindset and positivity to at the end of the day, we will be having ourselves to improve and our community to back us up. So just don't worry and just keep moving forward, which is also one of my motto. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. That's actually very much echo with the spirit of RISE, that is to rebound, right? To rebuild and to rethink about the situation. And when there's a will, there's a way. So thank you so much, MVP Dolly. At this moment, I know that there will be, please also leave your comments and feedbacks or questions at the chat box. And at this moment, I would like to pass the floor back to Chairperson Manuela for another amazing story. Thank you.
Big thanks to you too. Fantastic. Another inspiring project. Wow. And last but not least, we now go all the way from Asia, Myanmar to Cameroon to Africa to learn about another amazing project in Africa. And the speaker that we have for this project, it's Boutcheng Nghomsi. He is the owner of a master degree in economics of environment and rural development. He is an entrepreneur and CEO of the company called Prospectiva SAL. It's a company oriented on counseling, on business development and trainings. Motivated and inspired by a leadership journey, he joined JCI Cameroon in 2013 and is now the national president this year. Congratulations. And I have to mention this too. He's also the president and founder of the Cameroon Youth Economic Forum. And now I'm really looking forward to learn more about the project called Training of Refugees and IDPs in Soap Making and Digital Marketing of their products. Dear NP Boutcheng, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, dear Manuela. Greeting to everyone. My English is not very perfect, but I will try to speak in English so the maximum of the audience will understand what we talk about in our project. So our project is in French, projet d'autonomisation des femmes réfugiées. In English, I can say it's a project to empower refugees women, making liquid soap and using digital technology for e-commerce. You know, Cameroon is a country who receive something like around 600,000 refugees. We are part of the top 15 country in the world. We have a very big amount of refugees in Cameroon, and we know that when you are refugees, you are exposed to many challenges and threats. Even it could be economically, it could be on security and socially. So with JCI Cameroon and particularly JCI Yaoundé, one of our local organizations here in Cameroon, we try to do a project where we could help them to overcome all those challenges, and they can take in charge their own challenges. And I forgot to share my screen, sorry.
Take your time. That's your presentation.
Okay. I think it's better now. Okay.
We see now your screen.
The goal of the project was to, as I said, to empower refugees women in Cameroon. Those who were the beneficiaries of the project was women, particularly, and young girls or young ladies. Those who are refugees, particularly. And JCI Yaoundé Excel, one of my local organizations in Cameroon, who implemented. It was in March. I think it was on the 12th or to 15 March in Cameroon, 2023. So the activity was only focused on making liquid soap and training on using digital for e-commerce. It will help them so that if they make some product, if they want to sell it, they can use digital. It could be on WhatsApp, it could be on Facebook, it could be on Twitter, and so on. So those are the two skills that the trainer gives to them. It's true that at the beginning of the project, we want to train 100 women, but in lack of some sufficient support, financial support, we train only 15 women during 2 days. And the project was target 4 SDGs. The first one is ending poverty. The second one is the fight against hunger. The third one, decent employment. And the last one, SDG 10, the reduction of inequality. Those are the 4 main SDGs the project was involved in. So as I was saying earlier, my country of Cameroon is a country who has a very big amount of refugees. It's true that the number I put in the PowerPoint is not the one, it's not updated, but in 2021, we receive something like 500,000 refugees in Cameroon. As I was saying earlier, they are very refugees is a, I can say, it's a population with, I don't want to say marginalized, but they are very exposed to many challenges. And we know that with this, with the project of empowering them, we will help them to create income generating activities. We will help them to take in charge of what they need to take in charge of their life. So what is all I can say about our project, but let me show some pictures of the trainings. See these are the picture, one of the trainers. We train them on how to make liquid soap. We had another one where the ladies were during the trainings and the practice exercises. So we were showing them how they can better manage the process, because it's very important to know the process or the processing, which we have them. We give the soap at the end of the I don't want to say manufacturing, but it could seem the same thing. Okay, this is all the pictures I have in my computer. And as a recommendation, we can recommend that for the next, because it's a program, because we want to implement it next year, and we are in a conversation with any other partners. We touched last month, we touched the OIM. It is a Organisation Internationale de Migration International Organization, because they have a project for refugees. We touched them. We start talking with them to see how we can all together. We can join our effort to better manage this project. We can also contact many companies, because it's very important to have support, financial support. We can give some small grants to refugees to start a small project, because it's so that we can train. But after that, someone doesn't have money. Some of them don't have money to start a business. So we can give them a small grant, which will help them to start something. And why not involve many other international organizations or non-governmental organizations to support us, so that we can give to refugees better skills, which will help them to better to have a better insertion at the social and economic level. This is all what I can say about our project here in Cameroon, who was aligned with the JCI RISE concept. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Yeah, MP Boutcheng, it's great to learn more about, I mean, all three projects. You provided the background of the country specifics, what the challenges and needs are. And it was great to learn more also from JCI Cameroon about the refugee situation and the situation that it has also, of course, on everyone else living there. And I think currently worldwide, we have issues with a lot of people having or leaving their countries, being refugees in other countries, trying to create a new life somewhere else. So I think this is also a great example for other JCI organizations and other not JCI organizations, how to provide a better life for the refugees. You already started to explain the 4 SDGs that you're focusing on with your project. Is there something specifically that you would like to further elaborate why these are so important, or especially also you had the training part with how to do the soap and the financial part. Is there something you like to further add on why these SDGs, why this is so important to work on for Cameroon?
Okay, thank you. As I was saying that refugees are very, very they are not living in very good conditions, so they have a very difficult situation. As I can say from my little experience, I have in my neighbor many refugees, and sometimes we face women particularly, they are exposed to prostitution, sexual exploitation. they don't have work, and it's not a situation that we cannot look and without giving or without see how we can bring a contribution to help them to upgrade their life. So one of all, they are very poor. Now, this training, they have now small new skills, and with those new skills, they are able to launch a small business. It could be the trade of small of liquid soap, or they can use a digital like WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and so on to sell their product. They can create partnership with those who have products in their store. They can take it, go and sell such social media, and finally have small income that will help them to take in charge of their family. Secondly, we have hunger. You know, if you don't have money, unfortunately, you are exposed to hunger. It will help them to take in charge their small needs. It could be breakfast or dinner, but something to eat every day. The third one was the SDG 8, decent employment. It's so that to have we are in a what we call a country in development country, and we are not yet having a very good condition for work
to get
Okay, exactly. Now, if all of us we are in the same situation and we have also refugees, it's not easy for them to. So with the new skill they are having to use social media, it's true that they can use social media for e-commerce, but they can have another skills like community management or community manager, because the digital now is creating too much new jobs since the COVID-19 pandemic. We have a new jobs in the country, so we need more people qualified in those new jobs. And finally, the SDG 10, the reduction of inequalities. We know that if you are a refugee and you don't have skills, it means that you will be the market of work will not be favorable for you. So you need to have skills. So with that skills, it will help them to reduce the gap of inequalities in Cameroon between those who are refugees and those who are from the country. So those are the 4 SDGs that the project targets. As I said, next year we will implement it for another level, because it's a very, very important project, and we saw the impact. Those women send us every time the testimony to recognize the impact we have in their life with this project, and I hope that the other women next year, and why not young guys or young people, be involved in the project, and they can create wealth and jobs for all together. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation about the goals that you had. It's not only soap skills, but also the other kind of skills for finding a better job. Thank you so much. You can stop sharing the screen, by the way, for the last question that I have. Because as I mentioned, there are other countries as well with lots of refugees, and maybe you want to share, dear NP Boutcheng, some recommendations that you had when you started this project. I think it's a big challenge to start this project. You see, there are refugees, they need some help, but how do you actually help them? So maybe you can share a few insights on that part, so that also other JCI or members can do a similar project or learn from your approach on how to start such a project.
Okay, thank you for the question. It's very, very interesting. To start, first of all, you should know, first of all, the challenge where the refugees are situated, because they are the target first. You should go where they are living. It's so that for ourselves, it was easy because we have refugees around us, so it was easy for us. But if you don't have it in your counterpart, you need to look exactly where the refugees are living. First of all, get in contact with them, talking with them about the challenge they are facing and how you can help them. When we started, when we start talking with them, for some of them were saying that they need something we will help them to have money rapidly. And when we started the reflection, we saw there is a new movement in our country we call about made in Cameroon. So there is a promotion of handmade production for the moment. So he said that if someone, if a guy or someone, okay, let's say it like that, want to start a project of like making liquid soap and sell it to the car to his neighbor, it will be easy for people to buy because they know him. There is a confidence between him and his neighbor, so people can easily buy it because we know him and it's handmade. It will be easy for him to sell it happily. Second thing, you should orient the trainings or the skill development toward a specific a growth. Like I said, why there is it's trained in a job training, because it was easy for us to help them with digital because digital is not taking too much money. Every one of us has a smartphone. It's easy for us to train them with how to use social media for e-commerce. We can help them to have some tips, because today we have drop shipping, something like that. You can be in Cameroon, you don't have money to buy something to Amazon or Alibaba or somewhere else, but you can create an account on Amazon or Alibaba website and sell the products by they call it sorry, I forgot the name. The drop shopping, something like that. So it's easy for you to start a business without having drop shopping. Okay, thank you, dear Natalia. To have you can start a business without having money or a capital of money to start it. So it'll be easy for everyone to start something like that. It's so that you need to be patient, because sometimes you can start, but the first day people cannot buy it. But you have to be usually on social media, selling to propose your product to all your WhatsApp or Facebook contacts. So when someone is interested, you only add your margin, and at the end of the process, when someone buys something, you have your own income. And particularly, you need to connect with other organizations, because we have many organizations in Cameroon we can support, or we can help you with. It could be with human resources. We can help on trainings. You could have because the trainer of this project, it wasn't a JCI members. It's true that the second training, because the training on making soap, it wasn't a JCI member. It was someone who met somewhere during a project, and we connect with him and asked him if he available to come and train some people on how to make liquid soap, and he gave his agreement, and finally the project was done. The second training, we have our organization member who master very well the using of digital and any other stuff related to e-commerce. So it was easy for us. Those are the recommendation, or the what I can say to help everyone who want to implement the project in this country. It will be easy, because at the beginning you don't need to use too much money. It will not be I can say something where they will put enough money to start it. Start it simple and easy, step by step, and when you do your report, as I was saying earlier, we start having conversations with 2 organizations, and they are ready to support us by the next years. So this is how we try to ourselves. We start somewhere before moving forward and finally impact at a very global level. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup for the further sharing also. And I assume, I haven't had a look yet at the YouTube comments, but I'm assuming there will be a lot of comments and questions about all 3 projects, but also yours. And still, if you have questions, dear audience, don't hesitate to continue communicating and commenting there too. And with this last inspiring project, I would like to hand over to my dear co-host, committee member Naomi for the wrap-up and outlook, what happens next.
Thank you, Chairperson Manuela, and all three amazing speakers. I believe that the audience today, you already have some takeaways and through their insights. And I think everyone agree that apart from like a really skillful execution of projects, there's a foundation which is called passion and a spirit, an unyielding spirit against the every challenges in this ever-changing world. So actually this today actually is a part of the initiative to support the Global Goals Week. And we would like to you still have more opportunities to know more about our session 3, which is preserving mental health. And I would like to share QR code for you to register. Don't hesitate to register and know more about the RISE initiatives, the rationale behind all our amazing speakers, those stories, and also to know more about the initiatives around different parts of the world. So this is really important. And apart from this, after hearing this session and registering for tomorrow, so please also remember the hashtag Rise with JCI. And I think that's actually helps us a lot to know more about your feedbacks and also the great initiatives around the world. We want to know more about you and your stories and your solutions to the challenges in this world. Thank you.